Hi everyone! In this video, we will evaluate variable expressions involving subtraction with integers. Evaluate negative 20 minus 3h squared when h equals negative 5. Before we move on, let's review the order of operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide from left to right, add and subtract from left to right. Now that we remember the order of operations, let's go ahead and substitute. Every time we see an h, we will substitute a negative 5. But before we do that, I always replace the variable with a set of parentheses so that I know where I will be substituting the number in for the variable. So here we have negative 20 minus 3 parentheses squared. Notice how the parentheses only go where the h is, and the squared is on the outside of the h, so it is not inside the parentheses. Now that I have it rewritten with the parentheses, I can substitute negative 5 in for where the h was. This helped us keep the negative 5 grouped together, or the negative grouped together with the 5 inside the parentheses, knowing that all of that will be squared. It also helps us see that there's a multiplication between the 3 and the 5. Had we not put the parentheses, we might have misinterpreted that as 3 minus 5. It's very important to put a set of parentheses around the variable. All right, now let's go through our order of operations. Parentheses is first, and the only set of parentheses I have are the ones indicating that the negative is with the 5, so I don't need to do anything in there. So we'll move to the next step of exponents. I do have one exponent here, and that's where I have negative 5 quantity squared, or negative 5 times negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a negative times a negative, which is positive 25. And I'm going to go ahead and keep that inside this set of parentheses just to remind myself that I'm going to be multiplying between the 3 and what's in that set of parentheses. And then I write everything else exactly as it was on the step before. Now that I've finished the exponents, we'll move to multiply and divide from left to right. Here I only have one multiplication, and that's between the 3 and the 25. So we can go ahead and multiply 3 times 25. One way of thinking of that is like 3/4, which is 75, and it makes it easier to do it in your head. Then we copy everything else down exactly as it was. Now that we've completed all the multiplication and division, we'll move to adding and subtracting. Here I have negative 20 minus 75, but I'm going to go ahead and change this to add the opposite. The reason I do that is now that I have negative 20 plus a negative 75, they have the same sign, which means that I add and keep the sign. 75 plus 20 is 95, and they're both negative, so we keep the same sign. And it simplifies it for us when we add those together. Now we've evaluated this entire expression all the way down to negative 95, and we're all done.